Okay, we're back at Hartland Bike Park for episode 5 of the Route series. Now, it's going to be a little bit different today because we are actually starting at a different location. We are starting on Willis Point Road, not at the main parking lot, and we're starting on the trail called 7, which is a blue intermediate climbing trail that leads you up into the bike park. It's a relatively new trail. It's at a certain point gets kind of switchbacky, and there's only sort of, other than having to climb it, if you're a non-climber and don't like climbing, there's one sort of tight corner, one of the very first ones. So other than that, it's pretty easy and doable. You just sort of got to take your time, be in a good gear, use your turning radiuses and stuff. So here we go. We're climbing 7 to start off this ride, and for this ride you're going to have to like climbing because there's going to be quite a bit of it. So at one point you get to a turn and you got to either do turn or right or left. I always go left. If you turn right, it sort of takes you up into the jump line. I've never gone that way. So we just go left and do a little bit more of a climb. So we're into the main part of the climb, and coming up is the tight corner that I mentioned. What I try and do is go in quite slowly, go really quite deep into the turn, and then do a nice turn. And then there's a route that you have to go over. It's no problem, and actually it looked like Sims had done some nice work. And we're coming to the end of 7 and you intersect with Trillium. And on a previous video I turned left and climbed Trillium. On this route I turn right, go out to the service road, and then across, and then we're going to climb Sidewinder. So we're just coming up to Sidewinder. It's a blue intermediate trail. It's got some tighter corners and stuff like that, but nothing too bad. It's got some punchy climbs. So we're still on Sidewinder, and coming up is a challenging S-turn, and you sort of just need to go deep. I go up and past the route, do a really slow tight turn, bring it around, and then I pop up under the rocks. Very good. So coming up now is one of the more difficult punchy climbs. You sort of just have to have a good line and keep your pedals going. Hopefully not have a slip. It's conditions are really quite good actually. It's chilly out, but we're lucky to have no snow. Everything's riding really well. So that's it for the punchy little climb. Okay, we're quickly coming to the end of Sidewinder. What we're going to do is we're going to take a right-hand turn onto Northridge. Now, Northridge is a blue intermediate trail, and for this portion we're on a sort of like a double track, but it quickly turns into single track. So we're going to punch up through some rocks and some trees. Very good. And then up here is another punchy portion. And we go over some logs, do a left-hand turn and over logs. There we go. Here's the logs. Very good. So we're just entering the intersection now. And the next trail we're going to do is climb Jelly Roll. So I said you got to like climbing for this route, because the next climb after this is going to be Breathless. And Breathless is the most difficult climb probably on the mountain. We're in the bike park anyhow. So here we go. So on Jelly Roll, the trail splits. For the climb, you go left, or else you're going to be going up a very steep roll. So, and on this trail, lots of people go down it. So just be very aware, keep your eyes and your ears open, because they're probably not expecting to see you climbing it, even though it's a double, even though it's two-way. So we go into a bit switchbacky area. Very good. And then the two portions meet up again and we continue climbing. And we're just getting to the last portion of the climb of Jelly Roll, where we get to the intersection of Breathless and of phase 2. So we go up a rock roll. And then Breathless will be off to our right. So we take a right-hand turn on the Breathless. And as I said earlier, Breathless would be considered a double black diamond climbing trail. You sort of just take your time and do what you can. So now that you entered the trail, you get into a very rocky section that you sort of just try and climb. All the rocks look pretty dry, so it shouldn't be too bad. Then you have to do a step up onto a route and keep her going. And just start pedaling. So we get into another sort of rock gardeny area. And this is notoriously where I seem to have issues. I've been good the last couple times, but we'll see how it goes. Very good. Then we have to do sort of a left-hand turn, get enough momentum to get up. Very good. And then coming up is a rather tight S-turn. Whoa. Very good. Okay, we're just coming into a rocky, rooty area that also gets quite narrow. So we'll see how it goes. On that part. Very good. So we got a bit of a good climb. There's a tougher corner at the top. Here we go. On that part. Not the greatest line, but I made it. So here you gotta go up onto an off-camber rock. So what I try and do is take a more direct route, like that. All good. Good weight distribution. You gotta do a little bit of a step up. And we're almost at the top of Breathless. There's two routes right at the end. There's going through the rock garden on the right, or the easier dirt trail that I do. I'm old and I'm pooped, so I take the left because I can. And that's the end of Breathless. So we just completed Breathless, and now we are going to do Huge Ribbon, which is a black all mountain trail with lots of ups and downs. This is the first up. Very good. We start doing a bit of a down. Stay nice and controlled, good balance. So here we go into, again, a rocky down. Good line. And then at the end of the down, we go into a punchy up. There we go. And now we do the up. So we climb a little rock face here, get into a good gear. Very good. So we're just getting into a section now of Huge Ribbon where it's a challenging, wet, rooty, rocky up that goes on to a rocky climb. Whether I'm going to do it or not depends on how wet the rock is, because it's got exposure. So we'll do the first part here. Just got to hit it. Go through there. Very nice. So the rock looks pretty good. Again, I've chickened out the last couple times, so very good. Nicely done. Happy with that. And then on your right, there's a trail called Pry Bar, which I've never done a video on. It's, I think, double black diamond too. It's sort of a little over my head. So stay with what you know. So we stay on Huge Ribbon. Now here you can do a left and you can go up onto the rock ledges. I go right down the alternative line and do some rock rolls. Hi. So here's the first rock roll. Very nice. And then the second one. Very good. And so then we exit off the bypass trail and we enter the main Huge Ribbon trail and go down some rock rolls. So we're just coming into a rocky area where there's a a rocky descent. Just try and keep good control. And you got to do a punchy little up. Very good. And then continue down. Here we go up on our ledge. Do a left-hand turn. A little bit of a rock garden. Very nice. Coming up here is a punchy little up, and then you got to weave through a tree. Good for that part. The rock is nice and dry. Very good. Then you go out to a bit of a meadowy, rocky clearing. So we went through the meadow area. And here, to stay on Huge Ribbon, I do a left. You can go right, and it takes you over to Legend. So down Huge Ribbon, down the rock rolls. Good balance, good position. And we go down a not so steep rock roll. Keep good position, heavy on your pedals, good braking control, no problems. And so now we're approaching the longest rock roll or rock slab for this trail, maybe even for the mountain. And it's all about just keeping good control. A little bit more front brake, but just modulate, don't slide, and just do your best. Control your speed, go down as fast as you feel comfortable. There we go, it's all good. And you do a little bit of a right. You can also go left and go up onto a downhill portion. And we're at a junction point where I just go right and do the down. I think you can go straight and do sort of like a wavy thing, but it's a pretty easy dirt chute going down, not very steep. Good brake control as usual. Over a log. And then right here we're very close where you could intersect into Rampart and do the final part of Rampart if you wanted to. I'll just stay on Huge Ribbon because that's the trail I'm on. So you go through some rocks, do a left-hand turn, and down, then you're going to have to do a step up over a rock. There, very good. And then we're coming to the end of Huge Ribbon. And then what we do is we'll do a left on Southridge. Very good, went well. So for this route, what we're going to do is we're going to go right on Painless. If you watch the last one from Hartland, we went up and we did falling satellites. So this time we're going to do Painless, and then we'll cut up towards where it intersects with falling satellites again. So here coming up will be the blue direction sign. We turn right and we stay to the right to follow falling satellites. So we're going to need to do a bit of a rock climb. Last video we did it on the right. We're just going to go up the middle because it's pretty dry. And then as before, we go through this rocky, rooty section and hope for the best. Well done. And then up the rock. Still on falling satellites, we're going to do a rock roll. Good control. Then you can go up and do a steep rock roll in front of you, but we don't do that because, as I said last time, I was too chicken. So we'll go around the rock roll. And then at the end of falling satellites, we do a right and we intersect on the diaphragm climb, as we've done previously. There's always going to be duplication for trails in Hartland just because we're very lucky for what we have, but there are only limited trails. So, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do the climb up Green Ribbon until we get to Hot Tamale. So coming up is a junction. If you go to your left, you'll go to Hot Tamale. If you go to the right, you'll go to Green Ribbon, and then eventually the start of Organ Donor. But we're doing Hot Tamale. And previously when I did Hot Tamale, when I did the complete video on my channel, we took the new route. For this, I'm going to do the old route that I enjoy. It's a little bit jankier probably. So you go down the rock roll, and then here, instead of going straight on, you do a bit of a right-hand turn. Control your speed. You go wet down the rocks. Watch the trees. And then you'll come back and you'll intersect into what that other trail on the left would have been. Very good. Okay, we've just gotten to the section where the big slab is. Last time I didn't do the slab, I did the dirt portion. I'm going to try the slab this time, or at least I'm going to take a look and see how wet it may be. Doesn't look bad, so we'll do the slab. Just control your speed. Nice and gentle. Very nice. Carry on with control. You'll roll. Very nice. Right hand turn. Well done. Go down a few more rolls. And on Hot Tamale, there's different lines that you can choose, and some are definitely going to be more difficult than others. I just do what I'm used to, so, which are probably the easier lines, so each his own. You're coming up, you need to go over this rock. And then I go to the right, a lot of people just go through the middle. And then you get to a bit of a swampy area and then you climb out. Very good. Then we come to the end of the exit for Hot Tamale, and we go back on the service road, and we're going to do a left on Rolly Ridge. So we've done a left-hand turn on the Rolly Ridge, and now we start the little climb. Now here you can power up on the left, or you can do the switchbacky kind of part on the right, which I usually do. And then up. Very good. And you carry on. Now we're just going through a rock garden right now, and then we just come out and we do a bit of a down. I think in the last video I did You can go to the right there. Here I go down the middle. And then we quickly come up on the junction of Rolly Ridge and Rolly Ridge Connector, which I've been on a few of the previous videos. And here we're going to go up on the rock roll. I didn't last time, but I'm going to this time. And then I do the double rock roll. There's more of a straight on rock roll there, but I do the double. Very good. And then we're going to intersect and climb up Wild Stallion. So now we are at the intersection of where Wild Stallion meets Little Face. We're going to do a left-hand turn on Little Face to the service road. We're going to shoot across the service road, and we're going to start going up Snakes and Ladders. We're not going to do the entire thing. We're just going to go to where it intersects to Extension Ladder. So right across the service road into Snakes and Ladders. So when I've previously taken this before, I have cut off and gone down what I refer to as the night shift connector. Well, coming up will be to the right, but we're not going to do that. We're going to continue up Snakes and Ladders. Now the problem with that is you got to go up a rock roll that unfortunately is looking very wet. So I'm probably not going to try that just because of the wetness, because I don't want to fall backwards. So we're going to bypass that. I'll walk my bike to the top and we'll carry on from that. Okay, we started off at the top of where I walked up to the rock roll. We're into the rock garden. Get through that. And go down a rock roll that we climbed on previous videos. And then we take a left-hand turn on the step ladder. So we're now off of Snakes and Ladders and on step ladder. And this sort of just parallels the service road, which would be centerfold. So we're at this intersection for step ladder now. Whereas if you go right, I can't remember what it's called. Step something. Oh, there's a tree down, so we have to stop anyhow. So we've gone past the tree, and then we carry on. And they have been building a connector trail to take you down to the service road. I don't know if it's finished or not. I hiked it a little while ago, so we'll check that out. We'll do a shoulder check against the tree first, because we'll never win that battle. So the trail is still blocked off, so we won't take that, but we'll just go sort of down the rocky and rooty chute. And then we're on centerfold. We turn right on centerfold, and that was the end of extension ladder. So that side trail was step ladder. So we did the right-hand turn off of extension ladder, and now we're entering onto Middle Earth, and we're going to do the entirety of Middle Earth. I've showed Middle Earth before a few times, so I won't show any footage for that. So we'll keep climbing. All right, we're coming to the end of Middle Earth and starting on to Waterworks, and we're gonna take the entirety of Waterworks to Lost Trail. So we're coming to the end of Waterworks, and we're coming into the intersection of Dave's line will be to our left and Lost Trail will be to our right. So we're going to turn right, we're going to go up the bridge and then right on Lost Trail. Up the bridge, and then there'll be a bit of a T intersection right around this corner, and so phase 2 would be to the left. We're going right to Lost Trail with the intention of going down dirt falls. So we're in the section of Lost Trail that's more rocky and rooty, and previously we just went more to the right like we're going to do this time. You can go to the left, it's a little bit smoother. Here's a little bit of a off-camber route, or off-camber rock face. It's quite dry, so it's not bad. And then we go on our left will be phase 2, we're passing that. And we're going down phase 2. On our right will be Twister, passing that. And we're going to be going to our left right here onto Dirt Falls. Now Dirt Falls is like a dirt chute. There's a few different lines you can take down it. I don't do it. I just go to the left and take the blue intermediate way down, because not that I'm chicken. I don't know if I could do that or not. I'm pretty sure I could. Pretty easy to control and stuff like that, but it's just not what I'm into. So I always just go on this way. I also climb this route. Got a little bit of a log that you can go over. And then what you do, you intersect onto Northridge and you do a left. And we're gonna go to Lumpy Pants and then descend that. So we're quickly approaching the junction point on Northridge for where Jelly Roll, the bottom of it is, Lumpy Pants, and Bubble Wrap. We're on the optional rock roll. We're going to turn right, and we're going to go down Lumpy Pants. Lumpy Pants is a black diamond, sort of down kind of flowy trail. So coming up, you can stay left and not do the rock roll or the jump. It's a gap jump. If you go to the left, you're going to get air. If you go to the right where I'm going, you can do a rock roll. I don't really get that kind of air, so I have never done it. And previously coming up, this is where I'll enter Mindbender, but I'm not this time. I'm going to the very end of Lumpy Pants, and I'll do a left on the service road, and then we'll start Mindbender where it actually begins. So to the service road, do a left-hand turn. Go down probably about 75 yards, 50 yards, and do a left onto Mindbender. Now Mindbender is a black diamond trail, all mountain trail, with lots of little ups and downs, and it's quite fun. I quite enjoy it. It's one of my favorite trails in the bike park. Lots of little rock rolls, lots of off-camber routes, so you got to be careful. how you approach them. And then there's a step up coming up. Very good. Followed by a tiny rock roll with a right-hand turn. And another rock. If we get to quite a narrow spot, there's exposure on the right, but just don't fall to the right and you'll be fine. Now we have a punchy little up with a right-hand turn at the top of it. I just go wide, get up to the top of it, get up on the root. Very good. Coming up is a punchy little up with a couple turns. It's usually not too bad, you just got to hit it right. And then not slip. There we go, very good. A tight turn around the tree, and then you do a rocky descent. So keep good control, have a good line. And a tight left-hand turn. Very good. And then another tight turn. And then at the end of Mindbender, you got a little bit of a jump you can do. You go down to the service road and to your left. You can go to your right and go down 7. I've never gone down 7. I think of it more of a climbing trail than a descent trail. So I'll just return to my vehicle at Willis Point Road, taking the service road. So that's basically the end of the ride. So like I've said on previous videos, that in the description of the video, I will detail the route that I just did for those that might want to try it or not. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions or any route suggestions, leave a comment if you want, and I'll certainly answer it. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.